Hi, welcome to this DCP web tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to speed ramp a video clip using Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so on my desktop I've got this folder, and inside this folder I've got this one video clip which I downloaded from Pixabay. I'll put a link to that in the YouTube description. Let's go ahead and open up Adobe Premiere Pro, and we drag and drop this into the media pool here, and we drag and drop that video clip onto the timeline. So we want to really zoom in on this project, on this particular clip. So let's just grab this handle and drag it to the right so we can zoom into this clip. And let's grab this handle and drag it upwards so we can see the video content a bit better. Just drag it up so we can see it clearly. So as we grab the timeline handle here, and as we drag across, we can see the car move across. And really around this sort of point, I want it to start to speed ramp, right? So I want it to slow down here, and then as it goes past, we'll speed up the video clip again. So at this point in time, just move your cursor to the correct position. Then you can right click, go to show clip keyframes, time remapping, and speed. So at this point you'll see there's now a keyframe option here, add a keyframe. So we're going to add one here and then drag across the timeline until the car goes past to about this position, and we're going to add another keyframe here. Okay, so we've got this little handle here. You can see this handle, this line going across here. So we're going to grab that and drag it either downwards or upwards. So if we drag it upwards, we're going to speed up the video. So we want to drag it downwards. I'm going to set it to around 30%. And what we can do now is also do a bit of a Bezier curve here at the beginning and the end. So we can click on this handle here and drag it out to the side, and you'll see this ramp here. And then we do it on the other side as well. We drag it to this side as well, similar, sort of like this here. Then we can click. There's an in and out here. So we click on the out, and then you get this little option here, and you can just drag a Bezier curve here, and that will just smooth it out a little bit. So let's grab this one here and drag it out here this way as well. And we've got a bit of a problem. Let's just minimize this. Let's right click on this video and go to properties and go to details, and you see that it's running at 25 frames a second. So the frame rate is very low. To be fair, if you had something like 60 frames a second, it will be better. So the higher frame rate, the better this effect will be. But what we're going to do is just play it. So let's go back and click play, and you'll see it's quite jerky here, right? It's not great. You can see that it just doesn't look good. So what we'll do is just click on this video clip on the timeline. Let's just zoom out here a little bit. We'll click on this clip. Let's right click, and then we'll go to time interpolation, and then we'll go to optical flow. Let's click that, and even if we click play now, you'll see it will look pretty good, right? But what you really want to do is just do a test render. So click on this clip, go to the sequence, and do a render selection. So that will pull up this little prompt here, and depending on how many frames you got, it might take a little bit of time to do this, but it should only take a few seconds really. And in the previous example you saw it was quite jerky. Now you can see it is really smooth. So the software is really working out what are the frames that are missing, and it's adding those frames in for us. So that's preferably you'll use a 60 frame a second or even higher, 120 frames a second, 60 frame a second video clip, but this one was 24 frames a second. So using the right click, time interpolation, and then optical flow is going to smooth out that content and fill in the missing frames, right, for you. So let's just watch that one more time. You can see it's nice and smooth, and you get this sort of slow motion effect. It looks pretty cool. And you can slow that down, and we've really ramped it down 30% of 24 frames. So really we've ramped it quite far down. Normally I do around 50%, but this example we've done 30. Okay, so that's how you use the speed ramp in Adobe Premiere Pro, and we've actually used quite a low frame rate video clip at 24 frames. I would advise you go and experiment with maybe higher frame rate video content, and you can see how that slow motion will look a lot better when there's a higher frame rate as well. So let's go ahead and minimize this. We'll close this window. That's how you go about doing speed ramping with Adobe Premiere Pro. I hope you find this tutorial useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next DCP web tutorial.